I'm so happy Detroiters is back for another season. But this is a show, I think when people think about Detroit, they don't think about as sort of fun and light as this show is. And then were you guys trying to tell a story about Detroit that you feel like hadn't been told?
Well, we were just kind of doing what, we wanted to show the commercials that we have in Detroit, which are pretty goofy. So we parodied almost to exactly the commercials we saw growing up.
So these were local ads in Detroit. Were there ones that you got to this year that you hadn't gotten to in season one?
Almost every one this year is like a direct parody of something we grew up watching. So when people watch them, like, whoa, that's insane. They're pretty real.
Really? Because there's an insane suit commercial in the second episode. That is an accurate.
That is almost shot for shot. And Sam, who does it, fits in perfectly with it, where he's just like, every look is just like.
You guys you are sort of idiot ad executives. Oh, no, do you not think so?
I'm playing a smarter version of myself.
Oh, no.
I have to give all those scripts to a scientist who punches them up.
Oh, no. An advertising scientist?
He just said he's a scientist.
Okay. Wait, so this a real thing? Is April and the D a real thing?
April and the D is a real thing.
Okay, what is April and the D?
It was when Fox Sports Detroit, when the Pistons, the Red Wings, and the Tigers were all playing at the same time, they had this competition where you could submit a song, your band could submit a song that would become the theme song for April and the D. So everybody around Metro Detroit would, not everybody, but a lot of people would submit videos. And you could still go online and do a deep dive and find them. And my brother has one on there, but I'm not going to say the link.
Oh, really? Because he would be upset?
It's too good, I think. I don't want him to.
Oh, you feel like if we showed it, this segment would become about him?
Yeah, I think he would.
He'd get a record contract?
Yeah, and then he'd turn into a jerk.
So what were the parameters where you had to do was you had to write a song, the title had to be April and the D?
It had to say April and the D in it, and I think it had to mention all the sports teams.
Gotcha. And so do you ever like just as past time go back and look at that and enjoy it?
No.
Okay. Good.
I do. I absolutely do. Yeah, we go back.
You gotta move on from the past. You gotta leave that there.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you, Saz.
You had a billboard in LA.
Yeah.
Big deal. Kids, I would assume, be psyched.
Yeah.
It seems like one kid is more psyched than the other.
Yeah.
There's a photo of him right there.
I mean, look at that. Just so mad at me. And then he's just like, what up? What up, man?
Your daughter is very funny. I enjoy. She's sort of a star of your Instagram account. No offense. I mean, you're great too.
No worries. Yeah.
But she's kind of the scene stealer.
She's very funny.
She recently gave you. This is advice she wants to give to other kids about what you do when you're late for school.
I think it's just advice in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're late.
Yeah. She has this thing where if you're running late for school, then to speed up, you just fart and it'll push you a little bit. It'll just see all you have to do is go and you fart. Whoa!
Yeah.
Gives you a little boost. And she also says, if you're running backwards, just go ahead and burp.
Okay. That's helpful, but I have so many follow-up questions about why you would be running backwards.
I think if you're someone who runs backwards, you're gonna be like, well, that doesn't work for me. It's gonna slow me down.
Gotcha. Or do you think that's maybe a case where you fart too much and you start going too fast? So you have to.
Yeah.
So you turn around.
You gotta slow yourself down a little bit. Yeah.
You can also burp as a break.
Yeah, you can burp as a break. It's like those on the airplane when those wings go. It's like those. You're and it'll just slow you way down.
We have a friend in common, many friends in common from our time together at SNL, but a favorite of both of ours, Mike O'Brien, great writer at SNL, and you are still close with him.
Yep.
You see him in LA. You had him over. Was this Easter that you had him over?
It was Easter, yeah.
Okay, so you have kids. Obviously, Easter is built around having kids and looking for eggs. And what did Mike want to do?
It's built around Jesus, but. Yeah, just Google. Yeah, Google.
No.
Yeah, Easter.
Wasn't it baby Jesus though?
Well, that's Christmas.
Okay, gotcha. So,
dude,
which one's turkey?
That's Jesus' lunch.
So O'Brien comes over.
Yeah.
And what did he want to do at your?
So he came over and he said, I have to run later. I'm doing a stand-up set. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, we were both like, he's like, I think maybe he was like, do you mind if I try my set out on your kids? And I was like, sure, yeah. So we gathered all the kids. My friend Brendan and his kids were there too. And we gathered them in the yard, and Mike did his set for him.
Now, what did you tell the kids before they sat down? Did you say, like, an adult man is going to tell jokes?
I had to say, because they try and get laughed, I had to be like, don't heckle. Let them do it, and only laugh if you think it's funny.
Okay.
You don't give them courtesy laughs. Make them earn it.
Uh-huh.
And they were very good.
And I will say they were very well dressed for a comedy show because it was Easter.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Mike doing stand-up to children on Easter.
How you guys doing? You guys having fun on Easter? No. Oh man, I was watching rap battles on YouTube today, and my favorite part is like when they're trying to figure out what they're gonna say. They're kind of stalling, acting like they're getting into the beat. They're like, what? Yeah. I've started doing that in my real life. If my boss is like, why are you late? I'm like, what? Yeah. Ha ha! Here we go!
I feel like there's a lot of, I mean, you just realize the shortcomings of working out your act for children.
Yeah, he completely ate out there.
Yeah. Well, even just like, you know, when the punchline is like, I wish I could tell my boss, I don't even know if that's a concept kids understand yet.
Yeah, I guess he should have changed it to teacher.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the worst is I feel like your daughter could have gotten out and crushed with the farting thing.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think they were a bad crowd. I just think he had the wrong act for them.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, I think, like, let's not beat him up for it. I just think...
I'm not mad at him.
No, I just feel like you're giving off this whole vibe of, like, he ruined Easter, which you made it clear is about Jesus, and I feel like that's unfair. You really... And
you
by the
said
way,
it's
I
about
can never...
kids dressing nice in eggs.
Look, we all know where you stand on what Easter's about now.
Yeah, I love Jesus, man. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well,
guess
them.
what? I think there's some eggs in the house.
Who here likes to dress nice?
You got a pastel shirt? You've been here in past years talking about your great show, Detroiters, which I also love. It has been so fun. We met as writers at SNL, and to watch you doing sketch comedy like this, it makes me very happy. You're doing it with Zach Cannon.
That's right.
John Solomon, both writers you met at SNL as well. Well, was it fun to sit in the room and write? And do you feel like you've gotten better at writing sketches as far as the speed in which you write them?
No, not really. I feel like coming from SNL, I think we still have that same work mentality, which is like you sit around, you get there early, but then you just sit there and bull and talk, and then you're like, oh my God, we got to do something.
Yeah.
So it's still that same thing of
Right.
like, we need that ticking clock, I think.
You have some great guest stars from your time there as well. Vanessa Bayer, Cecily Strong, our friend Connor O'Malley, Will Forte, one of my favorite sketches.
That's it.
And I feel like Will, you used him as well as you could ever use him. It was an airplane sketch. There's what Will's looking like. And I mean, do you want to give up the premise of this sketch?
Sure, yeah. So he a long time ago, 30 years ago, took a flight and he was going to London, and a baby cried the entire time and ruined his flight and then ruined his trip to London. So he vowed to get revenge on me, who was the little baby. But then while I'm going on my honeymoon, he's like, remember me?
And there's a lot of close screaming. How hard was it to get through a sketch like that in a two-shot with Forte screaming at you?
It was so hard. And Akiva had the director.
Akiva, also from SNL, The Lonely Island produced this show, I should know.
Yep. Yes. And he kept having to be like, Tim, you're on camera, man. You can't just be like... And it got, Forte kept and be like, I hope my breath is okay, buddy.
I think you should leave is basically the statement of thesis for this whole show. A lot of the characters are people who just fully commit to something. I mean, that is a perfect sort of opening sentence, that sketch that we just showed, of people who will not admit they're wrong.
Right.
And it was fun to watch because there are some things that I remember even you having written at SNL, you know, that for whatever reason didn't work there, that sort of flourish here. Was that fun to find things that you had thought were funny maybe 5 years ago and now finally have them fully realized on camera?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so great to, things that didn't work on SNL or like, it was so nice to be able to bring it back and be like, okay, it is okay. And I am okay.
There were so many guest stars I recognized that we're friends with. There was one scene where it's basically, what do you call it, a focus group to talk about things people want in a new car.
Yeah.
There was an actor in it, and I do want to show a clip of him,
Sure.
but real quick, did you just how did you find him?
His name's Ruben Rabasa, and he auditioned, and we were blown away. He's a very good actor.
And I will say, watching this, I thought, oh my God, you found the perfect person for a Tim and Zach sketch. Because he's real crazy. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about.
What do we think it should look like?
Sleek.
Good.
High tech.
Aerodynamic.
Too small.
I'm sorry?
Too small. So when you get in there, you are like, is the steering wheel fly off and toast.
Okay, I don't know why we'd make it too small.
I think it's a good idea, and I'm standby.
Okay?
Maybe you could have like a sporty look.
Great.
Disrespect.
Any other ideas?
Stinky.
I don't know what I love about him so much, but it is.
And I just realized showing Forte and playing him, they got a real similar look.
Yeah.
Not every character on the show looks like that.
Yeah. It must be really weird when you, as an actor who that's your actual look, come in and you see Forte, and that's what they made him to look crazy in a sketch.
Yeah,
and you're just
hey,
like,
that's
oh.
what I look like.
Yeah, that's my like normal look, man. We've talked about your kids. You got one of each.
Yeah.
Penny's your daughter, yeah.
Yep.
And she shows up on your Instagram. She's kind of an Instagram star.
Yes, she is.
Does she love the camera?
She does. She really does. But last time I came on the show, we talked about her, and when I got home, she does funny bits, and I ask her if I can record them, and sometimes she says yes, sometimes she says no. But she did a funny bit. I was like, "Can I record that?" She was like, "You gotta pay me money." And I was like, "You know what? You're 100% right. I respect that." So now if I record one, I give her money.
Oh, wow. Just on the recording.
I'm like, yeah, okay. She's like $5.
Okay.
She'll negotiate with me too.
With this one, I think was the Wi-Fi hotspot. Is that what we're gonna watch?
We had just moved and we didn't have Wi-Fi yet, so she wanted me to set up a Wi-Fi hotspot with my phone.
Okay, and I think she was pretty cool about it. Let's take a look.
Get me a Wi-Fi hotspot now. Now, I said.
Yep. Penny, $10 is coming home for you, Penny.
And what about Buster? Buster's older, younger?
Buster is older.
Gotcha. And does Buster love the
Hold on,
camera?
let me put this in my pocket. I don't
Yeah.
He doesn't like the camera as much.
Gotcha.
He's super funny too, but he doesn't want me to record him, so I don't. But he
Gotcha.
like dances around the house and stuff.
Gotcha.
and
I also appreciate a kid who doesn't love the camera, so give that to Buster.
Oh,
for
my
me.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to just reward, people who love the lens. I like
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need some behind the camera people as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
people who don't want to be in front of the camera get paid too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited for you this year. I think you should leave one best short form, an Emmy for best short form. Very exciting.
Thank you.
I've been in that category a couple times before, but do a little thing called corrections. Been nominated a couple times.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Never won though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Winning is fun.
Great fun, yeah.
Okay. Were you nervous?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
so nervous.
And then when you actually gave your acceptance speech, was it not enjoyable at all?
Definitely, it's not enjoyable because I'm just about to barf.
Yeah. But then after is when the enjoyment sets in.
Yeah, then it's nice, but then I just keep thinking
how nervous I looked when I was up there.
Yeah. A little bit of nerves because you're doing a tour now. I think you should leave tour. And you're doing it tonight at the Beacon. I'm very excited to go and see it. So by the time this airs, that show will have happened. It will have gone great. But you a little antsy right now?
Yes. Yes. All you're asking me about stuff that I'm scared of. Calm me down a little.
Do you like bears?
They're so scary.
But this is the first of a tour. So, I mean, you're going to get one out of the way, and then you're going to feel good. It's going to be good to go. And you're doing Chicago, and you're doing Detroit. Those are your next three. And that's kind of your career in reverse order. You started in Detroit. You're from Michigan.
Yep.
Then you, Chicago, did Second City stuff. Then came out here to, did SNL in New York City. Are you excited about the Detroit show?
I'm so excited.
And that's the Fox, right?
That's Fox Theater.
One of the most beautiful theaters in the country.
Have you done it before?
I've done the Fox. The
Yeah,
best.
it's so cool. And like when I was a kid, I used to like go see shows there all the time. So it's gonna be so surreal to be like where I saw Santa Claus there.
What was the Santa Claus show?
He had a show.
Was it like a Christmas show or was it off season?
Stories.
Okay. But like it was like a summer Santa, like when he's not doing toys.
Yeah, and
he
he's
was
just like, just tell stories. Like,
and as a kid, was that what you wanted to see? Just like a long show of Santa telling stories?
I didn't think it was gonna be that. I thought he was gonna do something else, but no, he's like, oh, he had like a little whiskey, and he just kind of like.
And were they at least Christmas stories about Christmas?
No.
So Santa would come out and just do non-Christmas stories.
Yeah, just sip whiskey and talk about like hot chicks and stuff. He kept saying like, this chick was the hottest chick I've ever seen.
I mean, parents must have been so mad because I feel like Santa Live, you think that it's fair to have an expectation it's gonna be a kid-friendly show.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. And then he'd swear. He's like, if there's kids here, and he said a swear word, he'd be like, now's your time to leave.
Oh, so he was sort of aggressive towards the audience.
Very aggressive. Yeah.
Wow.
I might not have been Santa. Might not have been Santa.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think that was Santa.
You have a famously bad memory for these kind of things. This is gonna be Detroit Tigers home opener.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go to the game?
I'm going to the game.
See, I'm happy that you can, sometimes when I do shows on the road, I have too much anxiety to like go enjoy the day, but that's too good a thing to pass up.
It is. It is gonna be. I'll be distracted because I'll be worried about the Fox, but I got to, right?
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Will you be affected? Will your mood be affected based on the Tigers game, or is it too early?
Well, they're undefeated right now.
They are undefeated.
Yeah.
3-0?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, 4.
Oh, look at
Beat
you.
the Mets, I believe.
All right.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mets.
Sorry.
This, though, I would have more anxiety about this. You and your buddy Sam threw out the first pitch a few years ago. And I did that once, and I was maybe sick for like a full month leading up to it.
Because you were nervous.
I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing is what you forget about is no one's actually there when you do this.
And I don't think they really care.
Nobody
but
cares.
You can't get over the fact that they could all look at you if they wanted
Right.
to.
It's like a full hour before the actual game starts, though. So it's pretty thin, but it's still terrifying to I mean, you got a little easier because you threw with a buddy.
Yes, it was so nice to have Sam out there because I feel like they at least 50% could have just looked at me, and that's another 50 that's looking at Sam.
Yeah. Did one of you have a noticeably better pitch?
I actually don't. I think I bounced. I don't think it was very good.
Yeah. But you have no memory of Sam's?
I don't remember Sam's.
Yeah.
No.
I remember it was awesome.
Sam's was?
I remember they had a gun and the guy was like, and like
they had a speed gun out.
They had a speed gun. It was like a scout, and I think he was getting ready for the game. He wasn't there to see Sam, but he had it, and I think it was accidentally on.
Accidentally on. He had it on.
Well, he did because he
Then if
was
the
like,
batteries run out during the game, he's like, "Oh crap!"
No, but he saw it because Sam's number came up, and he was like, and he just called over a lot of other scouts. You don't remember this?
I think he was doing that about mine.
I don't think so. You have one of my favorite sketches from season 3, the Drive-In Crooner.
Right.
I mean, my favorite thing about your sketches is obviously everybody clapped has seen it, right? Because nobody would hear, like, he's got a sketch called the Drive-In Crooner. Nobody would go like, oh, I know what that is, right?
Right.
Can you explain it real quick for people who haven't seen The Driving Crooner?
It's a. So believe it or not, that's not actually in my mouth,
Yeah.
and that's not on my head.
Right. Those are decals on the window of the car.
They're decals on the window of the car. So if you're perfectly next to the driving crooner, it looks like he's smoking a cigar and he's got that hat on.
And that would be exciting for, like, I guess the idea. The Driving Crooner thinks that's going to be cool for people.
It is cool. It is cool.
Well, I'll tell you what is cool, because I texted this to you, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. The Mets have a Driving Crooner cam this year.
Yes.
So they literally cut to people in the... I mean, this is like
So
opening day, they're already doing Driving Crooner.
It's so awesome.
It's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Really cool.
Also, this is merchandise that you don't get a penny from.
Not a
right?
penny, not a
People are
cent.
just already on. They're literally going to Amazon.
getting
You
so
can get
taken
the
advantage
decals.
of.
So you can buy that, and
Yeah.
you're not getting anything.
That's got a doesn't have all full stars.
4.3.
4.3 is pretty good, but
One of my other, this is other merch you can get. You can hang Zipline Tim from. So the Zipline sketch. This is a dating sketch show, and you're a guy at sort of a, one of those dating locations. You're pretty into the zip line. Now, in the actual sketch, there's like 5 or 6 zip lines. But how many times did you actually do it when you're filming?
probably like 80 something.
And did you ever enjoy it?
Did I enjoy that?
Like, did you, the actor, enjoy doing the zip line?
Absolutely. It was so fun.
And so you never got bored of doing the zip line?
I did not get bored of it because I kept trying tricks.
Were there tricks in it that I?
It was a 360.
Oh yeah, you did. There was a very loving. It was a very nice profile of you in New York Times Magazine.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the show.
Yeah, very.
But then, like, did this thing where you sort of just started describing the way you look. Mm-hmm. How'd you feel when you were reading it?
Thought it was pretty mean.
I mean, and again, there's a huge fan. Like, no shade to the writer.
No.
Gets it, loves the show.
Right.
Amplifying. He has a big flaring dolphin fin of a nose. Small, deep-set eyes that sit in little pools of shade. A warm, gap-toothed smile. That's kind of nice. Goes a little bit, but goes on more. What were you feeling when you were reading it? Were you like...
It's just like thinking that, as I talked to this person, that he was thinking all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, wow. Like, probably first time meeting him, he probably was like, whoa.
Do you look back at while you were answering his questions? He was like...
He kept going, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I do. We're a little short on time, but these are some of my favorite. I had us pull my favorite faces of you from I Think You Should Leave, because you do have a real. Can you tell me? Just explain that one for me. Like, what's that guy thinking?
He's thinking.
I believe that's his actual line.
Yeah, it is his actual line.
Was it written to have you say?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was because you say it a couple of times.
Yeah. He's mad.
He's mad.
He's mad.
He's mad because he knows they got him dead to rights, that he actually did only want to be on the dating show because of this.
But he's
line.
mad, but he's being cute mad, so he'll get the stay.
Show us cute mad one last time. This is a fantastic movie. I loved it a lot. I laughed a lot. This is written and directed by a friend of yours.
Yep.
Andy DeYoung.
Yep.
And yet it very much leans into the sensibilities I think we've learned to love you for. Deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, it seems fine to me. It's not very.
Oh, so this is a movie about
Slice of life.
Slice. You thought this movie was Slice
of life.
Okay. I highly disagree with you. This movie premiered at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Did you go to the premiere?
Yeah.
You did.
Well,
Did
I didn't watch the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just went.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Okay,
It's
but
a
do
little
you-
long.
You know, you're here to promote it.
I would have snipped a few things.
So you didn't go to see it. You just wanted to take red carpet photos.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here's a good one of you with what is that in your mouth?
Well, it looks like my tooth's flying out.
It looks like It looks like your tooth is, and you think you're getting away with people not noticing. You kind of like, I think I caught it. I think I caught it in its tooth
Trying to
spot.
hold my tooth. And I suck it in, it goes right back into the spot.
And then you can't believe it. This is the face of someone who can't believe how well it went. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it went right back into the spot.
I looked at the person next to me and go, oh. It's a mint. It's a mint.
It's a mint. Okay.
It's a mint because my breath smells because my teeth are falling out.
Oh, I see. Now, the bummer is you probably thought people could tell you have bad breath in pictures, but they can't. So the trade-off wasn't
If you
worth
ain't
it.
there to go,
They're doing that now with press photos. They're so
Yeah.
you can smell the people.
you can smell the
It
coffee.
says smell the stars. We usually take our time together to talk about Detroit. Detroit Pistons, very exciting time to be a Detroit
Very
Pistons
exciting.
fan.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you about a different league that our dear friend Brooks Wheelan talked about when he was here. He's in something with you and some other people called Spider League.
Yeah.
Can you explain Spider League real quick?
Yeah, all right. And this is the second time Spider League's been talked about on your show.
Yeah.
And the first time it didn't go great.
No.
Yeah.
I think the audience, the expression is didn't know what to make heads or tail of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because I will say, I find the rules of Spider League and its very existence hard to grasp.
Yeah, because there's just, well, I guess there is rules, but all right. So what it is me and some friends have a text chain where we all have this insect app that if you take a picture of an insect, it tells you what it is and how poisonous it is, how
Gotcha.
strong it is.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we find spiders, take pictures of spiders.
Yeah.
It tells us who that is and how strong they are, how harmful to humans they are.
And this is just through your normal life. You guys are coming across spiders.
Well, everybody does. If you're seeing a spider and going, what the hell? They're everywhere.
Okay. I didn't mean to get you off track. So you take a picture of the deadly
Well,
spider.
that's not weird. Seeing spiders isn't weird.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
That's not.
That's not-
I'm sorry. Let me concede. That's not the weird part.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so then you find spiders, you put it in the text chain,
Yep.
and then you say, whoa, that looks beautiful. How powerful?
Yeah.
Then you go to the app. App tells you how harmful it is,
Yeah.
and then we compete to see who can get the most dangerous spider.
Okay. Our friend Brooks Wheelan was very upset, beside himself, one might even say, last time he was here, because he got kicked, he got suspended from Spider
Well,
League.
he's the biggest problem in Spider League by far. The biggest problem.
Well, so this is the text chain you were nice enough to show us.
Yeah.
There's a photo, okay, of just someone on a bike, and he texted, just saw Anthony Kiedis riding my bike out in Malibu. Can he be on my Spider team? I took a photo, so I did catch him. And then you wrote, happy for you, you're suspended from Spider League. Explain.
And then he wrote, oh, God.
He wrote,
Oh, God.
So how did you come to your decision to suspend him?
If you're in the if you're in the MLB, you can't just like instead of a bat have a picture of Tom Cruise.
Oh, so your issue was he
I'm
posted
playing the game. That's not the
a
game.
photo of something that wasn't a spider on the text chain, and he was out.
Well, he's suspended. He's not out. He's out.
How long? Well, I do want to add, he said, when is ban done? Have a spider in my sights, but don't want to push it by posting. And you wrote, posting it wouldn't be pushing it. It would be another 2 weeks out. You run a very, whoever, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, whoever the guy who suspended the Black Sox, that's who you are.
I mean, no, he's breaking he wants to post a spider when he's suspended? He's a problem in this league. He's a big problem.
Now, I will say, I'm friends with some people in the league. They think you might be the problem because you're really hard on the people in Spider League.
No.
No, okay, so John Solomon, he posts some spider, beautiful spider, seems like he's playing by the rules.
Seems like it.
Then
doesn't
somebody
it?
else writes, great find, not sure about the validity of that particular app. So it's a different app?
He's using the wrong app. That's not the official
So
app.
they say, I'll defer to Tim, and you wrote, app is not league approved, Warning. I mean, the integrity you feel.
How's that mean? I gave him a warning. I didn't suspend him. I didn't kick him out. I said, hey, bud, that's a warning.
I'm very lucky. We've had a couple dinners with you recently.
Yeah.
One was out in L.A., and there was a moment where a lovely waitress came over and she was telling us about the menu. And then you said, she was asking what you wanted to order, and you said, I'm a vegetarian, which you are. What would you recommend? And she said, well, I wouldn't recommend the steak. And we all sort of laughed, and then when she left, it was very clear you did not care for that comment.
Wasn't funny.
You didn't like
No,
it.
and there was a bunch of our friends who are comedians and comedy writers, and they laughed. Like,
You were
we all
mad-
worked at SNL where it was the hardest table read and things got iced, but that's funny?
So you're madder at us. You were angrier at us than you were at her.
The reaction didn't help. I may have taken it out on her.
You noticed something about having dinner with me, though.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Seth, when you go out to dinner with him, he's constantly, he thinks everything's a little talk show. So when we're at dinner, if there's any lull, the smallest lull, he'll just be like, oh, so you went on vacation? And it forces everybody to go, I did. It's quite funny. But he can't sit through a lull. Just let a lull
I
happen.
know. I feel this happening,
Yeah.
and I feel both shame and a great release that now I can let this go. But I do feel like it's happening, and I want it to stop.
I mean, have you noticed this before? Or am I the first to call it out?
I felt it that dinner when we were with the dudes, where that waitress had that super funny burn on you.
Your standards are going
Here's
down.
what I think it is. I think I have so little time with the old bros that I'm so desperate that I feel like a lull is like wasted time. Like as soon as I sit down to dinner with my old SNL friends, I'm like, it's almost over.
Right.
But I think I might be pressing too hard.
But isn't there some beauty in some silence?
No, I hated it. I just tried it there. I hated it.
silence.
That was a lull. Did you feel that lull? They hated it. Everybody hates me. In the lulls, that's when they go, I don't know if I like this guy. You can't let there be lulls.
Oh my God, that's what it is?
Yeah, I think
Give
that's
someone
when
time
people-
to think and be like,
yeah.
oh, this is bull.
I'll tell you what, this is very, next time we go out, we're gonna be Lull City. You'll
Right.
see. And then, you know what? You're gonna break first.
I'll say this, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it because a lot does get covered, so I appreciate it.
If you could bring better vacation stories.
Got it. Next vacation, I'm just gonna be searching for trouble.
I've been very excited about this. There's this line of baseball cards called Allen and Ginter. They're like built, and you were on a card this year, and I loved it very much.
Yep.
Would you be willing to autograph one for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you say, you said it like it was a bummer?
I'm just trying to do something right now. I'm trying to enjoy my life, but yeah, come on, let's do it.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
Oh, cool. What's your name?
Seth.
All right, I got you, Seth.
Okay.
You know what's funny is somebody sent me a message that was like, why is your signature so inconsistent?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because card collectors.
I don't collect baseball cards, but I was like, eat like, why are you judging me?
Yeah.
And I was like, and then somebody told me that it was like, oh, that means something in baseball cards. I was like, oh, I felt bad. I thought he was like just coming at me for like having bad handwriting.
No. Yeah, they want the autographs to be consistent. So we'll just.
Yeah, I got it. All right. There you go.
Will you do another one and we'll see? Did you look? Did you just? All right, let's see if they're
See?
consistent. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. I don't know why I would ever give you a hard time.
Yeah. Sign.
All right, don't worry about it. I can tell you hate it.